Hey guys, Nick here with the Crash Cash Network, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview on my setup. I have basically an i5-6600K on an MSI Z170A motherboard, MSI GTX 1070, 750 EVO Samsung 500GB SSD, 16GB of Crucial Ballistics DDR4 RAM, Hyper 212 EVO, 80 plus gold 750 watt EVGA from EVGA power supply. Windows, it's all running on Windows 8. My keyboard is a Corsair Strafe with red LEDs and blue Cherry MX blue switches. Cooler Master, Havoc, just basic mouse, Blue Snowball, and Acer G257HU 25-inch 1440p monitor. So I'm going to be telling you guys how I review all of these products, and it's going to be a little biased in some points because I have a somewhat unbalanced machine, so my PC itself might have parts that are lower rated because of my personal experiences. So let's get right off with the i5-6600K. This chip is an amazing CPU. If you are going to be, gaming and not video editing and all that, you can do a good amount of video editing with it. I'm not saying you can't, but I have it overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz with the 212 EVO. But in itself, it is a great CPU. Now, I would not put it with the GTX 1070 like I did. I would put that with a GTX 1060. But if you put it with a GTX 1060, you do a little bit of video recording and all that stuff you want, but you wouldn't do too much. Yeah, you'll be fine. Basic gaming. Now, the MSI Z170A motherboard, yeah, it's a great motherboard. It's so easy in the BIOS to overclock. It has all this stuff in there, and it just gives you a great guide in everything, and I love it. I would give it, it's just a great motherboard. It's not perfect, all that, but, whatever. Now, I'm going to go with the 212 EVO. 212 EVO is great for pretty much every build you can do because it supports so many things. Check if it supports it, but it has an insane TDP. I think it's like 220 TDP. It allows me to overclock my i5-6600K to 4.5 gigahertz without overheating it. With a $30 cooler, that's performing like a water-cooled machine. So to me, I think that is a perfect thing right there. Now, I have a GTX 1070. GTX 1070, problem is it's very uneven. It's a great one if I was to get to i7-6700K. I didn't. My machine's very unbalanced, and I can't say too many good things about it because of that, but I'm not limited by the graphics card. I open up any game that's highly graphically intense, and I absolutely love it. It's just so smooth and no micro stuttering or anything. So I can't really tell you guys too much on it because I don't play graphically intense games at all, really, or much of it. Now, I have a 750 EVO 500GB SSD. Coming from hard drives, I've never had another SSD, so I can't fully give you a perfect review on it. But the SSD in itself, great, fast. Loads up my computer in I think it's like 13 or 14 seconds. But yeah, it's a great SSD. Recommend it to anyone. I've already run it for 600 and something hours, and I've also have it's had over 1400 gigabytes of stuff written on it. So, not at once, but if you check Crystal Disk Info, it tells you how much you've had total. So, it's a great SSD. 16 gigabytes of Crucial Ballistics DDR4 RAM. The RAM, from what I can tell, it's good RAM, but every time I turn on my computer, it blue screens. And the blue screen, I have linked it to the RAM. I think the RAM has problems with it. I'm probably going to be returning it at some point. I just don't want to because it doesn't happen when I'm in the middle of something. It happens when it turns on, which is linked to bad RAM. All the errors that I get, and I really don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna put it. It's not good RAM, in the sense I got unlucky. For the most part, if you buy it, you should be fine. I'd recommend it. I can't specifically recommend it, but it's great RAM still. Okay, my 80 plus gold EVGA 750 watt power supply. It does what I want it to do. It hasn't blown up. The fan spins, doesn't make a ton of noise. It's modular and everything, and you know, it hasn't killed any of my components. Can't really say much more on that. So I run Windows 8 on this because I just find Windows 8 to be a lot easier to run and everything. I don't like Windows 10. I just don't like the interface and everything, so I can't really say much on that. You know, you can judge it. I think most people already know what Windows 8 looks like and everything. Corsair Strafed. It's a, again, red backlit LEDs with Cherry MX blue switches. I think that the Corsair Strafed is a magnificent keyboard for the price. I paid, I think, $70 for it. Mechanical keyboard. For what you get, it's amazing. My only real problem is that there's 3 switches. You know, the mute, the volume up, and the volume down, and you have to press the function key to press the volume up and volume down. And you get used to it, but it's annoying when you first get it, and can't. It just low burst rating. Now the Cooler Master Havoc, it has 8200 DPI. I paid $40 for it. I don't know what it is now. I think it's something like 50. Got it a couple years ago. Right on the top, you know, spin wheel, left and right click. It has an up and down DPI thing, so you can turn 4 different settings. You have drivers with it that you can use to make it, you know, better and everything. You have 3 programmable switches, and then the one flaw for a lot of people is I have big hands, but it is made for someone with big hands. You can't reach the 3 programmable switches if you don't have big hands. It doesn't quite fit it. I've had some people with small hands use my mouse, and they had to switch to my old Logitech one that I had sitting around because they just couldn't use it. So yeah, Blue Snowball. It's my mic. If you didn't know, it's a Blue Snowball. I paid, oh sorry, Blue Snowball Ice actually. Paid $50 for it. Yeah. You can't really say much. I mean, you can just tell from my sound quality. Whatever my sound quality is now, that is what you will expect from a Blue Snowball. So, you know, just go off of what you hear now. Is it worth $50? It's up to you. It hasn't broken, hasn't given me any problems, so it's just up to whatever my sound quality is now, in your opinion. And make sure that your speakers aren't limiting it if you're going to judge it. Now, the Acer G257HU 25-inch 1440p monitor. Now, to have a name like that, it tells you that this is a lower end one. My monitor is my least favorite thing in my setup. The stand for it, it's kind of like, come on, you couldn't have spent any more money. If you tap the screen on the monitor, it just wobbles back and forth for a couple seconds, 5 or 6 seconds just from tapping it. And that's really annoying. It just tells you how poor of build quality it is in just a little effort. Just something that you need to, makes you think and wonder, how good is this actually, how good is it? Now, I did pay just over $200 for this, so it was a great price. It's a 1440p monitor, cheapest one out there at the time. It's 25 inches, you know, good size monitor and everything. Other than that, it hasn't given me any problems other than the display port does not work. It breaks within the first day. I've seen plenty of reviews saying that the display port breaks almost instantly. Do not use it. Do not, if you're going to be relying on DisplayPort, you cannot use this monitor. You need to use something like HDMI or DVI. You cannot use this monitor with that. But that is pretty much my setup. I have nothing else to do, so hope you like my setup. Leave a like, subscribe to Crash Cash Network.